Hey Pin Explorers, today we are here at Animal Kingdom. We're gonna go inside and we're gonna check out all the pin boards. So let's go! I have my Pin Explorer book here. These are the pins that we're gonna be trading today. I'm wearing my Go Guru shirt. Feel the force!
Help us with the force so that we can find the pins.
And seriously, so it doesn't rain on us, because they're calling for rain today.
Welcome to Florida! So let's go! Our first pin board is gonna be right over here at Garden Gate Gifts. And there's also another one right over here. Guest relations kind of busy in the morning. So we're gonna go over here to Garden Gate Gifts and see if their pin board's out. If it's not and there's a line, sometimes there's a line in the gift store, we may come back to it. So we're gonna go over here and start at Garden Gate Gifts. Here's a look at that pin board. Okay. Look at that Hades tie. You don't see that every day. We got one here. Pretty much all I see. All right. Found a pin trading cast member. Here's a look at their pins. I like that one, so I'll trade you for that one. All right, so we did find one pin. We traded with a cast member coming up the hill here, and we got the Chip Halloween. Yeah, this is a Hidden Disney 2026 pin. We're already hitting some good pins here. It's gonna be a good day. So right when we come down the hill, there's gonna be a refreshment cart over to the left. We're gonna go over there and check out the pin board. Right over here is the refreshment cart. Let's go over here and check out their pin boards. Right here at the food cart, we were talking to one of the manager cast members here, and she said, I have something for you. I want you to go pick it up when you leave the park. And I was like, okay. And she's all, you won't be disappointed, trust me. And I'm like, sweet, let's go. So that was really cool. Got pixie dusted by a manager, and we have a very special surprise. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but she's all, when you leave at the end of the day, come by, give them my name, and I'll have something there with your name on it. So you can come by and pick it up. I was like, yes, let's go. Nice. We're gonna go over here to Island Mercantile. We're gonna check out their pin board. Looks like they have a new setup. Here's Island Mercantile. Let's go over here and check out their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. All right. Don't really see anything here we need. Now we're gonna go over here to PhotoPass because they have a pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. I don't really see anything here that we need. I like that Captain Hook, but it's not gonna be one that we need. We're gonna go over here to Discovery Trading Post. We're gonna check out their pin board. So they have this box to kind of show you limited edition pins. They're not always displayed in here. I found that out. These are what's new. So they're also doing Cool Kids Summer. Cool Kids Summer for pin trading means that you'll see some boards out that are shaped like Mickey, and they have a red border around it. That means those are for younger kids to trade at, and the adults have to only trade on the bigger, regular pin boards. But they do have one here. Let's go over and check it out.
This is our kids board. If you're 12 and under, you can look from both boards.
Right here at the counter, they redesigned it. I don't know where they'll put their pins down. Maybe they'll have them somewhere else. So I think there's some of the new pins. We've been looking at that Cars one to go with our other Cars pins we got. We already got this one. Haven't gotten this one. This one is fairly new too. I was talking to the cast member. She said they did change the layout of where they're going to have their limited release pins. Now all your limited edition pins will be here and not over where they used to have it. I'm not sure I'm that crazy about it being over here because this is a very busy place here, where over there I could have walked up, paid for something, and been done. I wonder why they changed the location. Yeah, right back here behind them is where they'll keep all those special pins. Right here at the main entrance. So we didn't see any bluey pins. I assume they sold out of those from what I heard they did. And I didn't see them anywhere. So I'm guessing that may be it for now. Maybe they'll get some more, I don't know. Right here is Ticket Corner. We'll go over here and look at their pin board here at Ticket Corner. Here's a look at that pin board. Okay, high five, Mickey. Don't really see anything on it that we need. Kind of like this Goofy though.
Hello. Pin it?
Not sure where he came from. Cute though.
I think he came in a packet.
Oh, with some more?
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from. I've seen somebody else with one of these. Ticket Center didn't have anything on their pin board. So as soon as you come across the bridge, they took out the kiosk that used to sit right here. Used to have a pin board and a kiosk right here. It's gone. There's really nothing down this way. I don't know why they would take out the kiosk. They should have did something good with it. Maybe they should have sold pins there because they have all these tables. You could have sold pins there. Maybe had some pin traders here. So far, it's been a success as soon as we got here to Animal Kingdom. We found some good pins, 2026 pins, and we got pixie dusted by manager. Yes, it's gonna be a good day today. All right, so we just met a really cool family. I gave them a bracelet. Nice meeting you guys. So right here is another refreshment cart, but that refreshment cart isn't open either. Maybe it'll open up later in the day, but that was another pin board that's not there either because they had a pin board there. Theater in the Wild, Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. Show here is about to start. Sometimes if you're in between shows, you might find pin trading cast members. Sometimes I've even found a pin board. We're making our way over here to Everest, and right outside of Everest, they used to have the big umbrella. I don't know what they're doing over here anymore. They also had a pin board there, but they moved it over to the refreshment cart. So I'm kind of curious to see. Things change all the time. Where's the pin board at? Is it still at the refreshment cart, or did they bring back the umbrella for pin trading? Let's go find out. So they just have this big umbrella out here. I don't think they have pin trading here no more. But then they have this refreshment cart. That's where the pin board is. We'll go over here and check out the pin board at the refreshment cart. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. Don't really see anything on here that I need. They didn't have anything on that pin board. I actually see another one back over here where they originally had one. Let's go over here and look at their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Don't really see any on here that we need. High five, Mickey. I do like this one. Is it cruise line? What is it supposed to be, I wonder? It's kind of hard to tell. It's cool though. Final Nation. This is the gift shop for Mount Everest. Look around, see if we see anything new in here. I don't see anything right off the bat. I've seen all these before. We've seen the hat. We did find this one. We got that one, a pin drop. We're all done here at Bazaar. We did find the one Mickey pin, the patriotic one that we picked up on pin drop. Didn't see any pin trading cast members. It was cool to see a board over here though. I like that they brought that one back. All right, so let's move on down here. And I think our next one's gonna be over here at the refreshment cart. Expedition Everest, 45-minute wait. Look at this guy bringing merch through the park to go stock over there. I have never seen that. What's going on, Disney? 45-minute wait for Everest. Not too bad. Pretty decent. Brandon, the Goofy and Pluto. Goofy and Pluto is pretty cool. We're going to go over here to the refreshment cart. We're going to check out their pin board here. Let's go over here to the refreshment cart, check out the pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. I do see these mini slippers. They're pretty cool. Let's look at those. How about we trade for those? What should we do? Let's do the 25th year. For the slippers. I love Animal Kingdom because sometimes you just find some really good pins here. Other times it may be a hit and miss, but we picked up the mini slippers. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Right over here is the guest experience team. We're going to go over here and look at their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. Don't really see anything on here that we need. I don't know what happened to this one. It's really blacked out. So the guest experience team didn't have anything on their pin board. Now we're going to have DVC. We can see if they have a pin board. Sometimes they do. Let's go over here to DVC and see if they have a pin board. DVC didn't have a pin board. So now we're going to go over here to Mandala Gifts. Look at their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. All right. A lot of Vinyl Nations out today, that's for sure. Don't really see anything that we need. Mandala Gifts didn't have anything on their pin board. Now we're gonna walk up here where the rabbits are. So we're gonna see they had a beverage cart that used to have a pin board, but they hadn't had it open for a while. We'll go up here and see if they reopened it. So it looks like the beverage cart is back open. Let's see if they have a pin board here. They used to. Here's a look at that pin board.
One banana and one ice cream bar.
The pin trading is pretty cool. Somebody buy it online. It is pretty cool though. I think I will trade for it. So the refreshment cart was open and we found a really cool pin. It was from 1999 when pin trading started. So this is an authentic pin. It says Disney pin trading around the world. Isn't that an awesome pin? Yeah. I think somebody had purchased it offline because you'll see the back has a sticker on it. But it's a real authentic pin. And at first I thought it was not going to be real, but it is. In fact, real. It's pretty cool. And to find that on a pin board, yeah, and it's Mickey. So, yes, I'm so excited about that. That is an awesome pin. Yeah, I love it. Can't believe we found that pin. Can't believe it. Let's go. So we're over here by our feathered friend that's in flight, and they're actually having a show right now. The show must go on. Right across from that, it's going to be a refreshment cart. Let's go over here to the refreshment cart and check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. Do you like this? Goofy's pretty cool. I think we're going to trade for the Goofy. Yeah, trade for Goofy. Let's do Bubble Wand. So I thought for sure when I was asking for the pin board, he said he didn't know where it was. He had to look for it. Thought, well, it's probably not going to have anything real, but it did. And it had the Goofy pin on it. Yes. Check it out. Isn't that cool? We were lucky to find that pin. That is awesome. Yes. We're finding some good pins. Now, this is an older pin. But yeah, I think people are finding some older pins online probably, bringing them here and trading them for maybe a better pin, in their opinion, but they're getting rid of all the good ones. Yeah. This is a good pin. I love it. And he's riding a skateboard. How many times do you see Goofy riding a skateboard with the jersey that says 32? Never. So the Goofy pin that we just found, it was a 2003. It was from the Extreme Sports series. It was a blind box. So I don't think people realize what they have when they trade it off. You traded a very rare pin for one, who knows what. Maybe you did find a newer pin, 25 or 26. But they're not going to be as good as that one. Their loss, my find. Yes, let's go. Right over here is going to be Pin Station. Let's go over here to Pin Station and check out their pin board. You have a Cool Kids summer board. Doesn't have any real pins on it. Here's a look at Pin Station pin board. All right. Don't really see anything on here that we need. This might be a new Pain and Panic. I haven't seen it. So Pin Station didn't have anything on their pin board. Right over here looks like a new location for Guest Experience Team. We're going to go over here and check out their pin board. Right over here is the Guest Experience Team. Let's go over and check out their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Alright. Don't really see anything on here that we need. Decided to come back up here. I'm not going to go to Pandora yet because we want to check out some of the pin boards up this way before we do that. And it's not raining, so that's good. Mombasa Marketplace. They used to have a pin board, but they took it away. Let's see if they brought one back. They used to have a pin board and they would set it right here. They never brought it back. So there's no pin board in here. I never find pin trading cast members in here. So I was looking around, but I don't really see any merch. It's kind of the same stuff that they already had. I don't really see anything that's new. So we're going to move on. Right outside the gift shop, there's going to be a refreshment cart. Go over here to the refreshment cart and look at their pin board. And so she said they don't have a pin board. I take that back. They always had a pin board. I don't know where it's at. Right here is Wildlife Express. This is where they had the train. Now this is the new Bluey attraction. So it's Virtual Queue if you want to check out Bluey. So I'm not sure if it's something that they just started, but they had a pin board here. Here's a look at that pin board. Don't really see anything here that we need. Kilimanjaro Safaris is a 40-minute wait. Standby entrance over here. But it says 40 minutes. That's not too bad. We're all done here at Harambe. We're going to cross the bridge. And we're eventually going to get to Pandora. But we're not going to go this way. We're going to cross the bridge. And there's some more pin boards over here that we need to get to. So we're going to go across the bridge and check out the pin boards over in this area. Right over here is going to be DVC. Let's go see if they have a pin board. So DVC did not have a pin board or a pin trading cast member. There's 3 of them. I don't know. Some of the DVCs today have been like, well, both of them that I've seen have not had any pins to trade at all. Right over here is a guest experience team. Let's go over here and check out their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. I don't really see anything on here that we need. They didn't have anything on their pin board right here. There's a few more pin boards around here we're gonna go check out. All right, so this is our next attempt at DVC. See if they have a pin board. Here's DVC, let's go over and see if they have a pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Nothing on this pin board that we need. All right, so DVC had a pin board. All right, high five DVC. Now we're gonna go down here to the refreshment cart. Right over here is the refreshment cart. Let's go over and check out their pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. We have the Evil Queen. That one looks good. So I know they've been faking some of those a evil set, but they did have one that was real. There, not one that we needed, so we left it for someone else. Now we're entering into Pandora, so maybe Goguru can use some of his powers.
The harness, the force.
I don't feel anything. What's happening? So this is the Valley of Morar.
We're deep inside of Pandora.
The theming for this place is just amazing. Amazing. And at night, like the floor lights up. Pretty cool. Pretty cool that it lights up. But the thing about it was, I was like, doesn't Animal Kingdom really close about the time it gets dark? And yes, it does. So it's a short window of the ground lighting up. Now, were you guys wondering if I was going to call it Avatar Land? Because normally I say Avatar Land. I didn't say it this time, did I? Right here is the refreshment cart, but the refreshment cart last few times have not been up and running, so it is not open today. And they don't have a pin board over here, but sometimes you might find a pin trading cast member. If you do, you'll see their lanyard. No, they're trading pins. We made it down here to their gift shop, Wind Traders. Right here is Wind Traders. We're gonna go inside and check out their pin board. Here's a look at their pin board. I don't really see anything on here that we need. So the newest Avatar pins that are out. Wind Traders didn't have anything on their pin board. And they only had the one pin board. Didn't see any pin trading cast members. They usually had another pin board, but the concession stand has not been open. So that's pretty much going to do it for Pandora, Avatar Land. So we're going to go over here to the kiosk. Right over here is a kiosk. We'll go over here and check out their pin board. Look at that pin board. Okay. Don't see anything that we need. Over here is a refreshment cart. Maybe they have a pin board. Let's go over and check it out. So here's a refreshment cart. She does have a pin board. Let's go over and check it out. Here's a look at that pin board. Don't see anything here that we need. So we made our way back here to the front. We have to go over here to guest relations because they had a special surprise, she said, for us. So we got to go over here and check out what that is. It's right here at the front. When you come in, they had a couple pin boards out there. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. Got another one here. Like the bubble wand and the Winnie the Pooh shoes. There's quite a few good ones on here. I'll probably trade for the Munchling and the Winnie the Pooh. One of them had some good pins, and so we traded. Traded for the Munchling one. Yeah. And then we got the Winnie the Pooh. These are really cool. I have not seen these. These are the ones I have not seen. Winnie the Pooh slippers. Yeah, and we had the other ones we got today. Yeah, so these are really good finds. I love these pins. To find the slippers, that was really cool, and I was shocked to find those. So yes. Yeah. And we're back at the front because now we have to go over here to guest relations because they had a special pixie dust for us, but we had to come back here to pick it up. So let's go over and check it out and see what it is. Let's go over here to guest relations. Here's the pin board. We gotta trade for him for sure. Yeah. Sorcerer Mickey Duck. I like it. Okay, we'll trade for him. I don't know what this one is. Looks really cute with the balloons. Let's do this one. Trade these out. There we go. Yay. So I think they thought I was crazy when I went in there. They're like, what? What do you do? What? I said, yeah. She said she was leaving something for me. And so I picked it up. It's an envelope. Wonder what's in it. You have to wait to find out. So we are going to go and look in the Rainforest Cafe because they do have a pin board in there. Rainforest Cafe. Now this is going to be the entrance to enter right into the park rather than the one that you enter on the other side. So you can scan into the park back here and you can exit the park over here as well. We're going to go in the Rainforest Cafe and look at their pin board. Here's look at that pin board. Alright, I don't think there's anything on here that we need. So they didn't have anything on the pin board here. Sometimes I've found a good pin. It's kind of a hit and miss. You don't know when they may have good pins. I think it's one of those that they put on there themselves. So I don't know how often that they actually refresh them. But now we're going to go over here to the ticket counter. Now it was really busy in the morning, so we didn't stop. So we're going to go over here to the one in the middle, Animal Kingdom ticket counter. And we're going to see their pin board. The only place they have it is right here. So you'll have to come in the middle and then walk up here and see if they have their pin board. So here's a look at that pin board. Quite a bit on here. A lot of Vinyl Nations. Got a High Five Mickey. Don't think there's anything here that we need. Right here at the ticket booth, they didn't have anything on their pin board here for us. Now it's time to open up our envelope. We gotta open it up and see what we got. I think it was pretty cool that she went out of her way to sprinkle some pixie dust, and our envelope that we got, it's got something special in it. Let's open it up. Here we go. What do you think could be in it? Kind of got to use both hands here. Ugh. I just opened the envelope. I got out what it was that she was giving me, and check it out. You're not gonna believe this. So it is the Easter chip. Yes, I've been looking for this pen. We were talking about this pen, and I told her that I really needed the pen. It's the one that seems to be hard to find. I had the other chips, I just didn't have this one. But she didn't tell me exactly what she was gonna do, so I kind of guessed that might be what it is, and it was. So yes, that was so cool to get pixie dusted and then be able to come and pick it up because I guess she didn't have it on her. I'm guessing. I don't know why she did that way, but yeah, when I went in there, I thought that was a little crazy. Or like, what? And then she actually came out and she gave it to me personally in the envelope. So she was back there. So I was like, yes, that's pretty cool. I love that. Okay, Pin Explorers, we had a good day here at Animal Kingdom, and these are the pins that we picked up. Yes. We got a lot of good pins today. I love it. We got pixie dusted this pin here. And let's see, there was two on here. Oh, the castle. We did a pin trade with some guests and we got the castle, and we got this one here, which is a Christmas pin. Pretty cool. 2020, I was like, yes, let's do it. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Thank you guys for trading and getting a bracelet. And we did some pin trading. Yeah, really nice people. And we're walking away with some really good pins. I've looked at them like, which would be my favorite one out of all these pins? So which one would be the one that I would just think is the best? I don't know. It's going to be a toss-up. Like, I love the Christmas one, but I love Goofy on the skateboard. they're just hard to pick. Every time I get pins, they're so hard to pick which one would be my favorite pin. I mean, I love them all. I want to say Chip, because of how I got Chip. That was special to me. That was really special. I didn't know what was in store, so that was really cool. And I thought that is wonderful that she did that. So it was a toss-up, I'm guessing, between that one. But if other than the pixie dust, I think I would choose Goofy, because Goofy is really cool and he's on the skateboard. So that is awesome. As my favorite pin today. Yeah. Can you believe I didn't pick a Mickey Mouse one? I know, right? So that's going to do it for us here at Animal Kingdom. Subscribe and your next pin adventure awaits you. The pin boards must be explored. So let's go.